Don't plead, don't beg, don't stand on your knees, don't cry, don't bitch, don't moan. The best part of being a human is that we're not flawless, and from time to time we will end up doing mistakes. And in order to make sure that people surrounding us don't feel estranged or neglected, we have to make an effort to apologize. So I want to dedicate this video to apologizing and show you the ways to properly apologize whenever you do mistakes. I have a short clip, we will go through it and discuss the findings. Let's proceed.
We all make mistakes from time to time, and nobody is perfect. So learning how to give an effective apology is a useful tool. Apologizing can rebuild trust, or even repair a strained relationship. 1. Regret. 2. Responsibility. 3. Make no excuses.
Hold your horses. I cannot keep up with this charade anymore. This is a total bullshit. I will tell you why you should never apologize and explain you why that matters. Firstly, I want to point out that this video presumes that people who are involved in this apology process are very reasonable and rational beings. But the truth of the matter is that we human beings are not reasonable. We are emotional creatures. And whenever we feel that we have been wronged, we will lose our civilized nature and choose to fight instead. And even the most reasonable and rational person has the moments of down and up whenever they don't feel 100% in control.
Okay, I heard it. Can I answer?
So bottom line, you should never apologize for your wrongdoings. Firstly, you didn't know that your actions would cause someone to become offended or hurt in any way. Secondly, you are not put on this earth to please people. Your job is to make sure that you flourish in this life. And as long as you're not being amoral or unethical, you're good to go. So to explain you why you shouldn't apologize, let me ask you this. Do you think we human beings are biologically, innately, empathic and compassionate creatures? No. We are evolved to be primal, and intellect is something that we happen to have a knack for, something we battle with to develop thousands upon thousands years, a kind of overriding of the system. Think about it, killing is more natural to us than being compassionate and empathic. It was necessary for our survival. We had to be cunning and savage to not lose that instinct of survival, something that kept us going and alive. And being compassionate and empathic goes against that instinct. Altruistic tendencies is something that is developed in recent years, in recent millennia. Whenever we construct and build governments, we give the power to them to defend us so that we can roam freely within our territories and meet all our physiological needs as easily as possible. Whenever that happens, we can evolve beyond our emotional nature and become more intellectual and sophisticated. That's where compassion and empathy comes into the picture, because we realize that we are part of a huge community, and making someone's life better means improving my own life. Initial impulses tells a lot about a person. Raw, unfiltered, uncut, unedited. Although our impulses can be overrun by social conditioning, by intellectual development and mental training. And I need you to understand, for that to happen, you have to be a highly intellectual person. Compassion and empathy are metrics of a civilized person. Do you know what civilized means, actually? A civilized human being is a person who has tapered his emotional urges and has developed the ability to reason, going about life with the help of rationale, understanding complex dynamics and construction within human relations. And for that to happen, for you to be cold-hearted and think rationally, you have to have security, safety, not being out in the wild and living like an animal. Now, taking all of this into consideration, I would like you to tell me one thing. Do you think the term civilized is applicable to the majority or minority of human population? And don't go to binary extremes on me. It's not about black and white. I want you to think a little bit deeper and out of the box on this one. So what do you think? Especially in this contemporary cancel culture that we live in. Whatever you do, don't you ever apologize in an overt manner. Think about recent tabloids. No mercy was granted to public figures. No careers were saved and reborn. No positive change was observed. Apologies don't do shit. Because we are primal creatures. And our instantaneous reaction is not to show compassion or empathy. It's to kill off the prey. You lose all power when you apologize. And even if it might feel good for your victim in the moment being, you gain plus points short term. In the long run, you lose power, because those arguments will be held against you in the near future whenever the victim feels wronged in any way. Whenever tough times once more come knocking on the door. When people feel emotional, they don't care about past apologies. In order to do that, you have to be very sane and rational in the moment. Apology is a choice of reason, but you cannot argue rationally with an emotional person.
The Pew Research says that there are, for immigrants on the whole,
Come on, try getting it out. Try getting it out.
I'll get it out.
I mean, I don't know if you're going to put this on television, but you don't even know what you're talking about. Try getting it out. Go ahead.
Oh, I made wrong. I need to come clean. Doesn't work like that. Whenever your victim becomes emotional again, bad blood will resurface. So apologizing gives you plus point short term, but in the long run you will lose power and gain many minus points. In the same manner, not apologizing will give you minus point short term, but in the long run you will remain as a person of integrity and character.
Why don't you make a grown-up decision now and accept responsibility, take off those glasses and apologise to everybody that you frightened, to the police who were forced to retreat and whose cars have been damaged, and to the community who've had to pay for this. Take off your glasses and apologise to us.
I'll say sorry, but I'm not taking off my glasses.
Why not?
'Cause they're famous.
A person with balls, that's exactly what is necessary to keep your reputation.
Rolling with the click and I
Huge cojones, I mean ginormous, because they are the reason that people respect you. There are of course subtle ways of apologizing, and yet again not an overt manner. Be very discreet, like if you did something wrong, you can mention that mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made.
Mistake was made.
Mistakes were made.
There were mistakes made.
And show that you're not fond of your decisions in the past. Don't plead, don't beg, don't stand on your knees, don't cry, don't bitch, don't moan. Show strength and people will respect you and you will gain more power. Whenever you want to apologize, show in action. Don't speak. Make sure that the person knows that you are not satisfied with the results that you achieved through your actions. Remember, we humans are animals. We always hunt for the weak ones. Hossein. Out.
rolling with the click and I ain't got a fuck to give. This is marijuana music, got a Henny on my hip, and then my baby, she is smoking too. Token on the avenue, flipping switches open in the silence of my solitude.